Amex credit cards are probably the most talked about credit cards in the entire market, but have you ever really thought about if they're actually worth it for you? Today I'm going to be going through about 10 different reasons why Amex cards might not be worth it for you. And to start it off, we're going to have to talk about how Amex's membership rewards points, or MR points, are really bad if you want to use them for cashback. So now as I'm showing you here, so you know I'm not making it up, Amex's cashback redemption values are actually pretty terrible at 0.6 cents per point when redeeming for statement credits. Not only that, but if you want to buy merchandise with your membership rewards points, that's only going to give you half a cent per point in value. If you want to redeem for gift cards, I know there are some deals that can get you upwards of 1.1 cents per point in value, but most of them are going to be around that half a cent per point valuation. And if you use your points for Amazon purchases, for example, you might get 0.7 to about 1 cent per point in value, which is still not great. They even give you the option to use your points to donate to charities, but they only give you 0.7 cents per point in value when doing that method, which is kind of crazy. Like, you would think they'd at least give us 1 cent per point for doing something like that. And in booking a flight or hotel or vacation package or anything like that through Amex's travel portal, you can expect to get about 0.75 to 1 cent per point in value. And I imagine you'd be closer to that 1 cent per point valuation when booking through the travel portal. However, the best way to actually redeem your points is going to be to transfer them directly to a travel partner like an airline or a hotel. And if you were to do that, you could get 2 cents per point or more, which is pretty cool. So obviously, Amex membership rewards points are going to be best used if you want to transfer them out to travel partners and not use them for any kind of other redemption method. Now, of course, I do need to mention that there are Amex cashback credit cards if you want to use those instead, but here I'm strictly talking about cards that earn Amex membership rewards points. But for those of you who are on Team Cashback, you could always use the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card or the Amex Blue Cash Preferred card if you'd like. And just a quick tip for y'all, if you do spend more than $3,200 on groceries a year, or about $61 per week, I think that comes out to, then you're going to want to go with the $95 annual fee Blue Cash Preferred card because you will be getting more value out of that in general. And I might even make a video in the future breaking down the differences between those two cards if you're interested. Now that we have established why using Amex membership rewards points for cashback is a bad idea, another reason you maybe shouldn't get Amex cards is if you don't like their travel partners. Because like we mentioned, the travel partners are going to give you the most value for your points at 2+ cents per point. So if you don't already use their travel partners and you don't want to jump through all the hoops of transferring between travel partners in the future when you try to book a trip, then these Amex cards might not make sense for you. So as you can see here, some of the main travel partners that people use the most on the flight side would be Delta. And obviously Delta is more focused on domestic flights, but if you did like to travel internationally with your Amex points, they do offer a bunch of different airlines that fly internationally as well. On the hotel side of things, they mainly partner with Hilton and Marriott. And yes, these two partners do cover a broad range of hotels if you were to look at the umbrella that falls under these two companies. But again, if you only travel Hyatt, for example, then it wouldn't make sense for you to get an Amex card. It would make a lot more sense for you to get a Chase card instead, so you could directly transfer your points to Hyatt and then use those for the most value. So for me, I try to get cards within ecosystems that have travel partners that I use the most. So for example, like I just mentioned, Chase is actually perfect for me because I fly a lot of domestic flights with Southwest, which is one of their travel partners, of course. And then I do like to stay at Hyatt's whenever I get the chance, and to be able to use my points for that is really helpful. And speaking of these travel partners, they do have co-branded credit cards with these travel partners that can give you some pretty cool statuses and some pretty cool benefits if you were to use their cards. But once again, that wouldn't make any sense for you to get those cards if you didn't travel with these people frequently, because if you're getting a specific airline or hotel card, then you're kind of locking yourself down to that company specifically, so you better hope that you at least travel with them once a year to take advantage of those benefits you have on those cards. Another reason that Amex cards might not actually be worth it for you is because most of their cards come with a pretty high annual fee in comparison to other card lenders. For example, let's look at the big three credit cards that Amex is pretty well known for, and that would be the Amex Green card, which comes with a $150 annual fee. Then there's the Amex Gold card that has a $250 annual fee. And then you have the big old Amex Platinum card that comes with a $695 annual fee, which shows that their table minimum for their annual fees in these cards is a lot higher than other card lenders out there. So in a sense, whenever you get an Amex card, you are partially paying for the name of American Express to be on your card. And just because they have high annual fees alone doesn't make it not worth it to get an Amex card. Because of course, each one of these cards is going to come with a lot more benefits than some other cards might have with no annual fee. But if you are somebody looking to not have any annual fees on your cards, it's going to be a little bit harder. And you may be asking right now, doesn't Amex have no annual fee cards? And of course, yes, they do. But out of all their cards, they actually only have 5 total cards with no annual fee. And I think the main one that most people know about on the personal side is going to be the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card, which just got a new revamp and it's a pretty cool card. But your selection for no annual fee cards with Amex is pretty limited. And not only is this a problem on the personal side, but it's also a problem on the business side as well. On the business side of things, you do actually have 2 pretty good no annual fee credit cards, that being the Blue Business Cash card and the Blue Business Plus card. And these cards actually aren't bad at all. They give you 2x back on eligible purchases, which is basically all purchases. However, if you go back to the business version of the charge cards we were talking about earlier, those being the green, gold, and platinum cards, those are also going to come with an annual fee. The business green card with a $95 annual fee instead of $150. The business gold card with a $295 annual fee instead of that $250 annual fee with the personal card. And the business platinum card with a $595 annual fee instead of the $695 annual fee. And obviously these cards are not the same. They are going to earn in different categories and have different benefits, so make sure you keep an eye on that before you apply for either one of them. But at the end of the day, Amex cards are known to be more luxury cards, so you're going to be paying for that privilege of holding them. And this kind of leads me into my next reason why Amex cards might not be worth it for you, and that's going to be if you don't actually take advantage of those credits that they offer on their cards. Now, most of their annual fee cards are going to come with some kind of credits to be able to offset that annual fee, at least partially. So for example, let's look at the gold card that has 2 different credits it comes with. The first of which being a $120 Uber Cash credit that comes in the form of $10 per month deposits into your Uber Cash account, and that Uber Cash can be used for Uber rides or Uber Eats. It also comes with a $120 dining credit split into that same $10 per month increment, and that money is going to be coming back to you in the form of statement credits, but this statement credit will only be triggered if you dine at select locations. Now, as you can see right there, that's $240 of credits that can be used every single year on the Amex Gold card. And with an annual fee of $250 that you pay up front, you're technically going to be earning $240 back throughout the year, meaning that you're only going to be paying an effective $10 annual fee for holding the card. So these cards are really achievable for any person to have, but you have to take advantage of those credits. And of course, when we're talking about credits, we got to talk about the Amex Platinum card that comes with a plethora of credits. If you were to use all of these, you could technically get up to about $1,600 worth of value. But as you can see, it does come with some credits that you're never going to use, like the Equinox credit, for example. A lot of people don't use that. So as long as you use enough to actually cancel out the annual fee for your card, then it makes it worth it. But if you don't take advantage of the credits, it's going to be pretty hard to justify why an Amex card is going to be worth it for you, while there's a bunch of other lenders out there with really great credit cards. Now, another reason you might want to go with another lender's cards over Amex cards is because certain Amex cards with annual fees actually have lower earning rates than other card lenders' credit cards with no annual fee. That was kind of a mouthful, but let me try to break it down for you right here. And the card we're going to look at here is going to be the American Express Green card like we talked about earlier. So as you can see here, this card earns 3x back on restaurants, transit, and travel purchases, which isn't bad. But if we look at a card that just recently came on the market, the Wells Fargo Autograph card, this card has no annual fee in comparison to the Green card that has a $150 annual fee, and it earns 3x back on restaurants, travel, gas, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans. So the Autograph card earns the same 3x in these 3 categories that the American Express Green card offers, but it also earns 3x on 3 more categories on top of that. And keep in mind, it also has no annual fee, which is pretty crazy. Now, yes, the Amex Green card does come with some other benefits, but if you're looking for a card that's just going to earn you a ton of points, then you might as well go with the Autograph card instead. And also, the Wells Fargo Autograph card allows you to redeem your points for cashback, which you wouldn't want to do with the Green card like we talked about. And obviously, this is just one comparison that I'm making, but it shows you that you can actually build a really solid setup of no annual fee cards if you wanted to. Another reason that you should not get Amex credit cards is if you just want to get them for the hype. Now, I know this may sound weird to y'all more experienced credit card veterans, but for those of us on the early stage of getting credit cards, those higher annual fee Amex credit cards, like the Platinum card, for example, is really appealing to the eye and makes us want to get them because everybody's talking about them. But a lot of us don't stop to think if they actually make sense for us, and we end up just getting it and then regretting it down the line. Now, luckily, I haven't done that yet, but I could definitely see myself doing it just because the card itself looks so cool and comes with a great welcome bonus. But if it doesn't make sense in my setup, then why would I get it? So this point is more of a PSA to y'all to say, don't get an Amex credit card just because you think it looks cool or something like that. And at some point down the line, it might make sense for you to get this credit card. But if it doesn't make sense right now, then don't just go ahead and FOMO into getting a credit card just because people are talking about it. Another reason that might slow you down in getting your next Amex card is because these cards don't always come with the best downgrade paths. For example, in that charge card lineup, let's say that you made the mistake I was just talking about and you went ahead and got the Platinum card even though you weren't going to use any of the credits and didn't really need it. If a year later you realize that, oh shoot, I made a bad decision and you want to downgrade the card, the only 2 options that you have in that family of credit cards is the Amex Gold card that still has a $250 annual fee, or the Amex Green card that has a $150 annual fee. So if you didn't want any annual fees at all, then you just have to cancel this card, which would hurt your credit score because you're losing out on that age of an account. Now, within some of their credit card families, you can downgrade to no annual fee cards if you want to, but again, make sure that before you get a card, you realize what the downgrade path is in case you don't want to be paying that annual fee forever. Now, at this point, I've kind of been ragging on Amex cards, but one thing that they actually do really well is give super high welcome bonuses. But in theme with the rest of this video, a reason that you might want to be hesitant on accepting one of these welcome offers is because Amex has a once-in-a-lifetime welcome offer rule, meaning that each card you get with them, you can only get the welcome bonus on that card one time. So if you saw an Amex Gold offer out there right now for 60,000 points and you thought that was really good, yes, while it might be decent at the time, there's a really high chance that there's going to be a much higher welcome offer out there in the future. Like, for example, right now, there's some 90,000 point offers floating around. But if you didn't do your research and you went ahead and got that 60,000 point offer, while it is good, you're not going to have the opportunity again to make up that 30,000 points that you missed out on because you can only get this welcome offer once. While there may be a lot of reasons that you need to slow your roll and not just dive in head first into the Amex credit card game, they really do have some super powerful cards, especially in combination with each other. So definitely don't write them off as cards that you'll never get in the future, because because they really are great cards if you use them correctly and understand both the pros and cons of these cards. For me personally, my favorite Amex card is going to have to be the Amex Gold card because it really has become my workhorse card ever since I got it. If you want to actually see me apply for that card live, go ahead and check out this video right here. But if you don't even really know everything that there is to know about the Amex Gold card and you like to learn more about it first, then go ahead and check out this video here where I do a full in-depth breakdown. I hope this video was helpful in shifting your mindset on Amex credit cards and making you think more before you actually go apply for one. So if you got some value out of it, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to the channel down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.